what would it mean for the front porch of the University of Colorado if they return to the Big 12? Max Olson writes a beautiful article this morning. We're going to do a deep dive. Welcome to episode 227 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, if you need just a little bit of extra college football content to get you through the days, to get you through the nights, subscribe to our ever-growing channel. Smash that like button. If you like our content, share the video with your family and friends. Let's not waste any more time. Once again, Max Olson hits a home run from the Athletic. Colorado's Big 12 buzz explained. What would a return to the league bring the Buffs? We will provide a link in the description. Read the whole article. Put down your comments and thoughts in the comment section below the video. What would it mean if Colorado actually returned to the Big 12? In the weeks after the shocking defection of USC and UCLA from the Pac-12 to the Big 10, Colorado Athletic Director Rick George's priority was solidarity. Our thing is we got to keep our conference stable, George told reporters last July. One truism learned from the last few rounds of realignment of college athletics. The school leaders who preach league loyalty the loudest tend to be the ones with no alternatives. It doesn't matter how much you respect your commissioner or admire your peers. In these turbulent times, if you're not exploring your options, you're not doing your job. And I think a lot of people have learned this lesson. They've had to relearn this lesson during this realignment wave. At that time, George and his fellow ADs linking arms was logical. The Pac-12 media rights negotiations had just begun. They needed every dollar they could get. But a lot has transpired since the last summer. On the same day George made those comments last July, newly hired Commissioner Brett Yormark declared the Big 12's open for business. The Buffaloes now have options. When asked last Friday about where Colorado stood, George didn't slam the door shut on the possibility of his school making a move. Nowhere close did he shut that door. He left it wide open. We're members of the Pac-12. We're proud members of the Pac-12. We've got to see where our media rights deal lands and where our conference goes. George told BuffZone. In a perfect world, we love to be in the Pac-12, but we also have to do what's right for Colorado. At the end of the day, we've evaluated things as we move forward. We've heard that before. Colorado Chancellor Phil DeStefano said essentially the same thing to USA Today a month ago. Nobody is making a move until they find out what kind of offer Commissioner George Kliavkoff fetches for the Pac-12 media rights. But George's latest comments do raise a curious question. What is best for Colorado? Does returning to the Big 12 actually make sense? As Yormark considers expansion for the 14 to 16 member league, Colorado and Big 12 have been in talks for several months. 3 conference sources who were not authorized to speak publicly about the discussions told The Athletic, no Pac-12 school has been more receptive to joining the conference, those sources said, than Colorado. And if you've been following here at Peek Around the Corner, we've been telling you all for weeks that Colorado is in the center of the stage as we have entered Act 12 for weeks and weeks, and no one else is with them. Arizona's close, but Colorado occupies the center of the stage. This is what sources have been telling us for weeks, and we have reported to you all. Colorado's the one they're having the most productive talks with, one of the sources said. The splashy hire of Deion Sanders to revive the Buffalo's football program has been a significant factor in Yormark's interest. The Pro Football Hall of Famer has almost instantly made Colorado nationally relevant in his first 6 months on the job and is viewed as an ideal fit for Yormark's stated vision of a younger, hippier, cooler conference. Fox Sports announced Wednesday that Colorado's first 2 games under Sanders are getting the big noon kickoff time slot this fall. The Buffaloes had a sellout crowd of more than 47,000 for its spring game in April, 1 year after counting 1,950 in attendance for its previous spring game. They went from 1,900 to 47,000 in their spring games the last 2 years. Deion Sanders, the prime effect. Coach Prime isn't the lone reason for the Big 12's interest, and the conference was already exploring expansion last summer before he was hired. Colorado's located in the number 16 rated TV market, enjoyed previous Big 12 success, has good facilities, and would make a solid travel partner for incoming member BYU. But Sanders' presence has impacted the perception of Colorado's value. There's an argument to be made, too, that moving to the Big 12 would help him and the staff establish a stronger presence in the state of Texas and recruit coast to coast. Sanders' arrival has inspired hope for a program that went 1-11 2022, hasn't found a way to win in the Pac-12. Colorado has a 48-94 record. Holy smokes. Since joining the Pac-12 conference in 2011 and lost 76 of 103 games in conference play. Again, holy smokes. The Buffaloes have achieved one top 25 finish in that span when they won 10 games in the Pac-12 South in 2016 under Mike McIntyre, but have finished with the winning record only one other time, 4-2 in the pandemic-shortened 2020 season. So they had a winning record in 2016, and at the pandemic year, all the other years have been losing records for Colorado since they joined the Pac-12. The Buffaloes lost to Texas in the Alamo Bowl that year and haven't won a bowl game since 2004. Man, but they did experience success in their previous Big 12 stint with 4 North Division titles in a 5-year span under Gary Barnett from 2001 to 2005. Basketball is another key factor in Yormark's assessment of expansion candidates. He's made that pretty clear. Tad Boyle has led a relatively successful men's basketball program, one that has won the Pac-12 tournament once, 2011, 2012, and has reached the NCAA tournament 5 times. And Coach J.R. Payne just guided the women's basketball program to its first Sweet 16 in 20 years. Colorado accepted Pac-10's membership in June 10 at a moment when former Commissioner Larry Scott looked poised to raid the Big 12, forming a 16-team super conference boosted by a lucrative conference TV network. The Big 12 was on the brink of collapse and about to lose Nebraska to the Big 10. "We don't like leaving people behind," then Colorado President Bruce Benson said at the time. "This is a better fit for us. I wish the people in the Big 12, the remaining members, a lot of luck in the future." 4 days later, Texas turned down Scott, and the Big 12 stuck together. The Pac-12 network did come to fruition, but certainly was not a game changer, and George hasn't been shy about the expression his frustration with the network's distribution issues. 13 years later, the Pac-12 is working toward a media rights deal and expansion plan in the hopes it can provide much needed security. Once again, Colorado's leadership faces a crucial decision. A Colorado return to the Big 12 wouldn't doom the Pac-12 or the value of its next media rights deal. Kliavkoff could easily move forward with adding San Diego State as more than a suitable replacement. But for months now, the bigger question for the Big 12 has been whether landing one gets them 2. Can Colorado crack it open where they can get a second Pac-12 school, possibly a third or a fourth? If Yormark can get a deal done with Colorado, will that be enough for a momentum shift for him to land Arizona as well? Arizona President Robert C. Robbins predicted on March 15th that the Pac-12 would make more than the Big 12 in its next media rights deal. He also anticipated the Pac-12 would finalize a deal within the next couple of weeks. Well, now it's June. As Yormark sits down with the Big 12 presidents, chancellors, and athletic directors this week during the league spring meetings in West Virginia, there's plenty to discuss on the topic of expansion. There are several more potential targets on the league's radar, including basketball program powers like UConn and Gonzaga. But when it comes to the Buffaloes, there's not much to debate. The Big 12 wants them. They'll have the support of ESPN and Fox as full share members. Do you hear that? We've been reporting that for weeks and weeks. Even recently, there's been erroneous reporting on how much Colorado would get. They would get the full share. ESPN and Fox, they are supporting this. There's no early exit fee. There's little doubt they'd be competitive and valuable for the former conference, the Big 12. All that is missing at this point is a clear deadline for the Pac-12 media rights negotiations. And finally, on the day Colorado officially joined the Pac-10 in 2010, now former board member Michael Kerrigan declared, "I've had many tough agonizing votes in my 6 years on the Board of Regents. This is not one of them." That was back in 2010. If the Pac-12 comes up short this summer, it might soon be time for a tough one. Tough decision. The Chancellor, the AD, the Board of Regents at Colorado, faculty, staff, alumni, fan base, where are they going? Are they going to go? Are they going to pull the trigger to the Big 12? We believe they will, and we have believed this for quite some time. We are in Act 12 here at Peek Around the Corner in the Peek Around the Corner Theater, June 1st. This is now the opening of the window that action could happen. Colorado's in the center of the stage, and Brett Yormark is not going to wait much longer. He wants a decision known. He's applying the pressure. He's gently, consistently tightening the screws. I think we're going to have a decision sooner rather than later from Colorado. Again, put down your comments and thoughts in the comment section below the video. Stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner as we continue to cover this saga. Pac-12 media rights deal. Are they going to get one? We don't think they're going to get one anytime soon. And that is factoring into the decision that we believe Colorado is about to make. Until next time. From all of us at PATC to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.